Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, homebrew D&D items for your games, and a chance to play some D&D in the Patreon community. We now have a Discord. It's just getting started, but we have some future plans coming, like events for Discord members and Patreon members. Today we're venturing into Mega City 1 for Judge Dredd. In the distant future, most of the United States have been organized into megacities that house millions of lives and can stretch across several different states. To police this massive city, the judges were created. This is a special military police force that not only act as cops, but judges as well, enacting the law upon the citizens as they see fit. Out of all the judges, there is one feared above all others: Joseph Dredd. A clone of Chief Judge Fargo, Joseph and his brother Rico were created to help honor and maintain the legacy of Fargo, but eventually Rico went insane and was incarcerated. Like all judges, Dredd is armed with a high level of weapon technology. This includes the Lawgiver, a pistol that has been DNA encoded to only allow the assigned judge to use. The Lawgiver is an amazing piece of tech that can shift what bullets it uses on command. These bullets include standard shots, explosives, heat-seeking, tracking, stun, and more. He's also armed with a multitude of other melee weapons and armor, and has access to a Law Master, a motorcycle armed with its own weapons and controlled by an AI system. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook. We'll also be using Tasha's if you decide to take something, but it will be up to you, so you might not need this book. We're using Standard Point Array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so watch those minimums if you use another system. Make Strength 15, Charisma 14, Dex 13, Con 12, Wisdom 10, and we're going to have to dump Intelligence with an 8. I don't really want to do that because Dredd is not dumb in the slightest, but we have to sacrifice something to the great and terrible Standard Point Array. Dredd is a human, resourceful, grants you an inspiration dice at the end of a long rest if you don't already have one. Skillful gives you a free skill, take Perception. Versatile grants you a free origin feat for this feat. Tough gives you double your current character level in HP and then adds +2 HP to each level after. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, add +2 to Charisma and +1 to Strength. For your origin feat, Magic Initiative will give you Lawgiver. You choose 2 cantrips and 1 first level spell from a spell list that you choose from Wizard, Cleric, or Druid, and once you choose, you also then choose the spellcasting modifier from Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma. Choose the Sorcerer spell list and choose the modifier Charisma. For spells, Sorcerer's Burst fires a shot from Lawgiver out to 120 feet, and when you fire, you choose the damage type of the bullet from Acid, Lightning, Cold, Fire, Poison, Psychic, or Thunder, dealing 1d8 of damage. If you roll an 8 on the d8, you get to add yet another d8, and you can keep this up till you reach a total number of d8s equal to your Charisma modifier. Light imbues magical light onto an object you are carrying or wearing, like your firearm, for 1 hour. Shedding light out to 20 feet, you can only cast this on one object at a time. Chromatic Orb fires another shot from Lawgiver out to 90 feet, and once more you choose the damage type of the shot you fire. This time, just from Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, Poison, or Thunder. The shot deals 3d8 damage of the chosen type, and if you roll double numbers on the dice, the shot bounces off the first target and attacks another creature within 90 feet, making another attack roll and damage dice. If you upcast this, you have the possibility to bounce the shot more and hit more creatures. Because you got Chromatic Orb from Magic Initiative, you can cast this spell once per long rest without a spell slot. For skills, take Intimidation and Survival. To finish out your background, grab a proficiency to maintain your gear and maybe make more ammo. Level 1 Paladins start things off with 2 skills. Take Athletics and Insight. You are proficient in all weapons, armor, shields, and the saving throws, Wisdom, and Charisma. Lay on Hands gives you a pool of healing that equals 5 times your Paladin level, regaining used healing at the end of a long rest. With a bonus action, you can pull from this pool to heal anyone you touch, including yourself, equal to the amount you pulled from the pool. You can also pull a total number of 5 from the pool to automatically end the poison condition. proficient. Weapon Mastery allows you to access special properties with your weapons. At the end of a long rest, you choose 2 weapons you're proficient with, and now you can use those weapons' mastery properties when you attack with them. For weapon masteries, you'll see Pistol and Hand Crossbow give you Vex, which gives you advantage on your next attack against a creature you've hit with this weapon before the end of your next turn. Mace or Morningstar gives you Sap, which gives a creature that you've hit with this weapon disadvantage on their next attack before the start of your next turn. Spellcasting gives you more tech. You're going to start off with 2 first level spells. Charisma is your spellcasting modifier, and you get used spell slots back at the end of a long rest. For your spells, Detect Magic scans an area within 30 feet of you for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. While active, you can see magical energy around things affected by spells or are magical themselves. With an action, you can tell what school of magic the effect is coming from. Command issues a 1-word command to a creature within 60 feet, forcing a wisdom save. If they fail, they must obey the 1-word command, like drop their weapons and such. Level 2 Paladins gain a fighting style feat. For this feat, Defense adds +1 to your AC when you are wearing armor. Paladin Smite gives you a free spell, Divine Smite. When you make a melee attack, you can use your bonus action to add 2d8 radiant damage to it, adding another d8 if they are undead or fiends. This only works for melee attacks and not ranged attacks. And because you got this with the feature Paladin Smite, you can cast this once per long rest without a spell slot. For your new spell, take what you want. There's a lot of really good first level spells here that include healing abilities, bumps to your AC, or even more damage and effects to your attacks. So choose what you want and customize this. Level 3 Paladins now have access to their subclass. Vengeance, found in the player's handbook, seems like a dead giveaway for you. Channel Divinity allows you to access the power of your oath to the law and perform special features. You can use this twice per long rest, and you have 2 features right now you can use this with. For these features, Divine Sense allows you to sense the presence of unnatural creatures like undead, fiends, and celestials within 60 feet of you for 10 minutes by using your bonus action to use your Channel Divinity. You're also going to sense sacred or desecrated objects. Vow of Enmity is an action to use your Channel Divinity and choose a creature within 30 feet. You have advantage on attacks against them for 1 minute. If they die before the 1 minute is up, you can transfer the vow to another creature within 30 feet for free. Oath spells give you free spells as you level up. For your Oath spells, Hunter's Mark lets you mark a creature within 90 feet with a bonus action. For the next 1 hour while you maintain this spell, you will deal an extra 1d6 force damage to the creature and will have advantage on survival and perception checks to find them. If the creature dies before the spell is over, you can use your bonus action to transfer the mark to another creature within 90 feet. Bane targets 3 creatures within 30 feet and forces a charisma save on them. If they fail for the next 1 minute while you maintain the spell, they must subtract a d4 from every saving throw and attack roll. For your normal spells, take what you want. We're actually going to get all the spells you need for Dredd for free, so you can seriously customize this build a lot, and it's going to be fun. Level 4 Paladins earn our first ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Crossbow Expert from the player's handbook or Gunner from Tasha's is where you're going to want to go, but you're going to need to choose which. All this will depend on what ranged weapons are actually accessed for you. If you're using crossbows, take Expert, but firearms take Gunner, as both are the same with small differences. Both add +1 to your dex. For the differences, Expert allows you to ignore the loading properties of crossbows. Being within 5 feet of an enemy will not impose disadvantage on a ranged shot with a crossbow, and you can fire a hand crossbow with your offhand and add your damage modifier to it. Gunner lets you ignore loading properties of firearms, and being within 5 feet of an enemy doesn't impose disadvantage on a ranged shot with a firearm. It also gives you proficiency in firearms, but that's kind of standard now. For your new spell, once more, take what you want. Level 5 Paladins learn Extra Attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Faithful Steed will give you Lawmaster. You learn the spell Find Steed and can cast this once per long rest without a spell slot. This spell summons a mount to serve you until you dismiss it or it dies. You also learn second level spells. For your oath spells, hold person traps a humanoid within 60 feet of you. If they fail a wisdom save, they are paralyzed for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. At the end of each of their turns, they may retake the save, ending the spell on a success. Misty Step is a 30-foot teleportation you make with a bonus action. For your normal spell, Magic Weapon turns one non-magical weapon into a magical one by adding +1 to the attack and damage for 1 hour, and you can only cast this on one weapon at a time. Your character level 5, bring your proficiency bonus to +3. Sorcerer's Burst now deals 2d8 damage. Level 1 fighters begin with a fighting style feat. For this feat, archery adds +2 to your ranged weapon attacks. Second Wind lets you ignore damage with a bonus action by healing you 1d10 plus your fighter level. You can do this twice per long rest, but regain 1 use after a short rest, and you're going to get more uses later on. Weapon Master is the same, but now you have 3 weapon masteries. Remember, you do not stack the different weapon masteries together, you just get the better one. And fighter will be the better one. Level 2 fighters receive Action Surge. You can now give yourself a free action once per short or long rest, but you can't use this to cast a spell. Tactical Mind allows you to add the Second Wind D10 to a failed skill check, and if you still fail the check, you don't burn the D10. Level 3 fighters now have their subclass. Champion from the player's handbook is going to make you tougher. Improve Critical lets you score critical hits on a 19 or 20. Remarkable Athlete gives you advantage on athletics checks and initiative rolls. You can also move half your total speed when you score a critical hit, and this movement doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. Level 4 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Start raising Charisma for better spell DC and attack. You also now have 3 uses of Second Wind and up to 4 weapon masteries. Your character level 9, raise your proficiency bonus to +3. Level 5 fighters gain Tactical Shift. Now when you use Second Wind, you can move half your speed, and this doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. You also get extra attack, but you've already gotten it from Paladin. So much like Weapon Mastery, you cannot stack these two together. You just simply use the better of the two, but they're equal for now. Level 6 fighters earn another ability score improvement, raise Dex for better shots. Your character level 11 Sorcerer's Burst now deals 3d8 damage. Level 7 Champion fighters learn another fighting style feat. For this feat, Unarmed Fighting makes your unarmed strikes 1d6 when you're holding something and 1d8 when you're not holding something. And if you're grappling someone, you can automatically deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage at the start of your turn. Level 8 fighters earn another ability score improvement to cap off Charisma. You've hit character level 13, bring your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 9 fighters receive Indomitable. You can now re-roll 1 failed saving throw once per long rest. Tactical Mind lets you change the weapon mastery of a weapon you're using when you hit with an attack. For the weapon mastery, you can swap out. Push moves the creature you've hit with this weapon back by 10 feet. Slow reduces a creature's speed that you've hit with this weapon by 10 feet, but you can never reduce it lower than 10 feet. And of course, Sap we've already talked about. Level 10 champion fighters are heroic warriors. Now at the start of each turn in combat, you can give yourself a heroic inspiration if you don't already have one. You now have 4 uses of Second Wind and 5 weapon masteries. Level 11 fighters learn extra attack ×2. You can now attack 3 times with a single attack action. Level 6 Paladins get Aura of Protection. Now you and your allies that are within 10 feet of you gain a bonus to all saves equal to your Charisma modifier. You've hit character level 17, max out your proficiency bonus to +6. Sorcerer's Burst now deals 4d8 in damage. Level 7 Vengeance Paladins are Relentless Avengers. Now, when you hit a creature with an attack of opportunity, you reduce the speed of the creature to 0 until the end of the current turn. You can then move half your total speed without provoking an attack of opportunity. For your new spell, Zone of Truth is great for interrogations. You create a 15-foot radius zone out to 60 feet that lasts for 10 minutes. When a creature enters the sphere or begins its turn in the sphere, they must make a charisma save. If they fail, both you and they will know they can't lie within the sphere. They can avoid telling the truth, but anything they say must be the truth. Level 8 Paladins earn our final ability score improvement, and since you're character level 19, you have access to epic boon feats. For this, I'm going to end with +2 to your strength, but you can go epic if you want. Our final level is level 9 Paladins, and you gain Abjure Foes. Now you can use your action to use Channel Divinity to force a wisdom save on a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier within 60 feet of you. If they fail, they are frightened of you for 1 minute or until they take damage. While frightened in this way, they can now only do an action, move, or a bonus action. Not all three, only one of them. You also gain 3rd level spells. For your Oath spells, Haste sends you into an adrenaline rush. For 1 minute while you maintain this spell, your speed is doubled, your AC is increased by +2, you have advantage on dex saves, and you gain an additional action. For these actions, you can dash, disengage, hide, use an object, or attack a single time. When the spell ends, you are tired and your speed is reduced to 0, and you are incapacitated until the end of your next turn. Protection from energy gives you resistance to certain types of damage for 1 hour while you maintain this spell. This damage can be acid, fire, cold, lightning, or thunder, chosen when you cast this spell. For your final spells, Elemental Weapon adds more damage to a non-magical weapon. For 1 hour while you maintain this spell, you choose a new damage type and add +1 to the attack and damage. For this damage, you choose fire, cold, lightning, acid, or thunder. For your final spell, take what you want. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 18, Dex 16, Con 12, Intelligence 8, Wisdom 10, Charisma 20. Your total class levels are Fighter 11, Paladin 9. Let's dive in. You are the Law. Your Lawgiver can deal 4d8 fire, lightning, or thunder damage, and you can add more damage dice to it. Or you can deal 3d8 damage and bounce it off to another creature, and you can upcast this to 5d8 with a chance to bounce it off of 3 creatures. Using a pistol, you're dealing 1d10 +4 +1d6, and you can push them back, slow them down, cause them to have disadvantage, add elemental effects, and fire up to 3 times. In melee combat, you can add up to 2d8 radiant damage as well. Your authority is absolute. You can track your criminals at advantage, force them to tell the truth, command them, scare them, drop the speed to 0, trap them, even curse them. Finally, your AC using a breastplate is 18, you can summon Lawmaster to you at any time, and your total health taking the average is over 180 HP. Downside. Firstly, you have a lot of concentration spells, which is almost all spellcasters. Also, your intelligence is bad, but this had to happen because of standard point array. More than likely, you'll use another system, which will give you a chance to get a better stat, even if the modifier is a 0. Finally, Paladins tend to be geared towards melee, not ranged, so Divine Smite isn't as great as it could be for you, but you're not just a ranged character, so it doesn't really matter. We just had to spend a few levels just making sure you can shoot. So go out there and patrol the streets by enforcing the law without fear. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you, John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Jonathan Haynes, and Daniel Saftler. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.